So today we're diving into a topic that's vital. I'm going to show you how to improve the strength and quality of your eel and have it permanently transformed into a whale, but also how this all-natural and drug-free strategy can ultimately give you the ability to deliver more pleasure and get a 5-star rating. So watch this video from the beginning to the end. And if you're single, follow these techniques so that you aren't ghosted. And if you're in a relationship, use these techniques, these 3 techniques that I'm going to show you, so that both you and your partner are always 100% satisfied and you can always pleasure her in bed. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. And if you're joining us for the first time, I'm Dr. Rachel Ross, a board-certified family physician and clinical sexologist, here to dive into some of the most pressing men's health topics. So right now, click below on that subscribe button so that you won't miss out on groundbreaking information on exercises to improve erectile strength and your life in general. Now, in this video, we'll be exploring the top 3 exercises that can help you achieve stiffer, stronger, and more sustainable stiffness. And as you've seen in some of my other videos, in order to keep YouTube happy, I will refer to this amazing aspect of your body as either an eel or a whale. Now, these aren't just random tips. These are actually backed by physiological insights and can make a huge difference in your erectile health and in your performance. First, we'll be talking about the benefits of what I call the last drop technique. Now, this technique will have your companion begging you to give them your last drop. And it's an important exercise designed to improve erectile strength. In fact, you will actually be able to pleasure her in bed each and every time if you integrate this tiny shift into your lifestyle. We'll also discuss the edge control exercise. This is an edging technique. Now, you can do this specific edge control exercise a few times a week for 6 weeks so you can have an explosive level of control to accompany the stiffness that's going to be there. And then last but certainly not least, I will reveal a very simple pumping protocol that will transform your eel into a whale and help you bring a surge of powerful blood flow. So let's get to it. Okay, so first, the last drop technique. I love that name, right? Well, the number one complaint that women give is that you aren't lasting long enough for her to receive pleasure. You aren't waiting for her to finish, and then when you finish up, bam, you're off to sleep, or you go off to do something other than the task at hand, which is pleasure. Well, that stops today. The last drop technique reverse engineers science for your benefit. Because of the way that your brain is wired, when you feel like you have to go pee, your brain can actually not differentiate the difference between the urge to go to the bathroom and the urge to explode. They kind of compete on that same neural pathway. And because of this fact, you can use it for your benefit to actually last longer. So before you want stiffness, this is what you do. Go to the bathroom. And the last drop technique will bring things to a heightened new level. Now, if it's a bathroom with a clean toilet, perfect. Sit down. If not, it's okay. You can do the last drop technique standing up as well. Now, sit down on the toilet and empty your bladder. And when you get to the end of your stream, I want you to bear down and push that very last drop out. Now take the time to sit and let it drain all the way out. And then I want you to bear down again and push those last streams out. Next, I want you to actually apply pressure to that lower abdominal area, that area right above your pubic bone. This is actually going to be your bladder. Press here to get that residual urine out. Now you've actually completely emptied your bladder. You will need to no longer take the rhino pill or generic Cialis. This is an all-natural solution to help you last longer, and your partner will be absolutely amazed when it comes down to it. Because see, a full bladder will make you a 1-minute man.
1 minute, please.
But an emptied bladder will have you ready for more and have your partner screaming for more. So using the last drop technique will allow you to actually give pleasure each and every time for as long as you'd like. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about is edge control. Now, the last drop technique gets you ready for the moment. Now, let's turn to the number one exercise you have to do if you want to be ready and stiff for any occasion. The edge control exercise, which is an edging technique or protocol, will get you there. Now, if you were running a marathon, wouldn't you train for it? And if you planned a trip to hike 50 miles, wouldn't you train for that or prepare for that? Sure, you would want to be a beast. You would want to be in shape. You want to finish strong. Well, I want you to think of this in your attitude towards intercourse the same way. And if you are visiting a friend that lives miles away, or if you're in a standard relationship and you just want to choose when you get to explode, control it. Edge control is not a gel or a cream. It's actually a technique where you systematically train yourself to last longer. Now, step one is to get a vibrating object. In this case, we will use the external prostate massager. You're going to place a water-based lubricant on it, and then you're going to place it right underneath the corona, an area commonly referred to as the head. You're going to turn it on, you're going to get your vibration going, and you're going to use this. You're going to relax and get comfortable, and you're going to use it for pleasure. Now, when you start to feel yourself nearing the end, I want you to stop. Clamp down those muscles like you're trying to prevent a fart from escaping, and stop. And you've stopped the explosion dead in its tracks, right? And you're going to relax, take deep breaths, and you're going to do it again. You're going to practice edge control 3 times a week for 6 weeks, and you will start to notice, even after the first week, more firmness, more stiffness, greater control over your finish. Now, that's edge control, and you are controlling things through 2 different mechanisms. One, practicing, because muscle memory brings things to a whole new level. Remember, Kobe Bryant, all through a whole season in his elementary school, no points. He practiced, right? And the next one is vibratory stimulation. It is an evidence-based support for erectile dysfunction. It's actually an all-natural approach to ED, so you can use it to treat premature ejaculation and not being able to go at all. And vibratory stimulation is correlated with an increased desire and overall function. I will put clinical references in the notes below. So using this as part of the edging technique, using it as an edge control, takes things up to the next level. Next, I want to talk about pumping, but I'm going to do something completely different. I'm going to give you an actual pumping protocol or a penis pump guide that has been proven clinically to work to both get you harder and give you and your partner the feeling of plumpness and girth. I actually recently did a video on how to use the penis pump to prime yourself for the moment. It is the ultimate pump guide. So click over here now so that you can actually locate it and find it so that you won't have trouble finding it later. And while you're at it, just go ahead and subscribe so you won't miss out on these amazing ways to optimize, increase stamina, and cure ED naturally and permanently, right? So the pump was the first form of recovery for ED and erectile dysfunction. In fact, the first one ever marketed for sale was invented by a gent who had erectile issues and spent his day actually working on cars, particularly tires. And it appears that one day he thought, gee, if I could just inflate and repair my eel the same way I'm inflating and repairing these tires, I would be a happy man. So he invented the first penis pump for sale. Now, fast forward to years later, the science came in and they proved clinically that it could help initiate the process to regrow and rehabilitate eels that had lost their power, help them transform back into whales. Now, the secret to pumping is consistently. So step 1, you apply a water-based lube around the area. For newbies, I suggest you get one that actually has a gauge on it to kind of calm your fears, because you never want to pump until you have pain. You actually stop when it looks and feels full. Then you're going to hold it in the chamber for 3 to 4 minutes. And you can actually remove this part, leave it in the chamber. After your 3 to 4 minutes, you are going to actually push your pressure release button. Just watch it go down. And you're going to repeat this 3 times. You're going to do this 3 to 4 times a week, 4 to 6 weeks in a row, and you're going to watch your eel transform into the whale. Now, if you have sickle cell or any other bleeding disorder, this is not for you. And of course, you want to consult your doctor. But this is a perfect way to bring that eel into a whale, change it from the state that you're at, get more girth, and change things. Make sure that you watch some of the other videos designed to help you bring the pleasure and open up the floodgates, because this is just part of it. This is not a sprint, gentlemen. This is a marathon. If you want e-power and e-function all the way into your 90s, start doing these things early in life and subscribe for ways and insight on how to do just that. I'll see you next week.